I used to drag here back in high school. Green, I'm going for it.
Oh hey guys, I was just test driving my new Dodge Neon.
Hello motherfuckers. Last week we talked about why you shouldn't buy one of these stupid pieces of shit. We went over the reasons why they kind of suck and why they're kind of awesome. One thing we did not cover, however, is why you would get one of these over the illustrious Subaru WRX STI. The number one reason is price. I can speak for a lot of people when I say that the WRX is typically around the $30,000 price range. That's not too bad. The STI, however, is around the $40,000 price range, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people. And yes, you do get some goodies. You do get your bimbo brakes, you get your EJ head gasket eating motor, you get your sexually transmitted infection fucking transmission. Those are all great upgrades, and you could not come close to 10 grand doing that all to your WRX. But for the people that just want to buy a car that's all-wheel drive, that's fun, a lot of the time that stuff isn't worth it, especially if it's your daily and you're not driving it hard 24/7. Also, before the STI guys get really sad and upset and start commenting down below, fuck you, and all that other shit because I called their car a sexually transmitted infection, just know that us WRX owners actually look up to you and we really like your cars, and this is a fucking joke, and you should stop being so self-conscious and care what people say on the fucking internet, okay? Also, maintenance is just going to be cheaper in general. What do you think's going to cost more? Big fancy Brembos and nice rotors, or these little guys and regular rotors? Now, even though I'm going to personally swap these out because I don't like how they look, halogens are cheaper than LEDs. And yes, I know this is only exclusive to the base model, but if you don't care about what your headlights look like and you just want to save some money, these are a better option. Also, gas mileage. The EJ compared to the FA burns more gas than Cheech and Chong. While the STI transmission is a lot better, it is a lot more robust, it does also take more fluid, which does mean it costs more per change, which is another thing you do have to factor in. Maintenance. Maintenance is going to be a little easier on this car. Most Subarus are pretty similar, but one thing you'll notice if you've looked under an STI hood and a WRX hood is that the oil filter is on top on the WRX, and this car has a timing chain instead of a belt. Timing chains will typically last the entire livelihood of the engine, which means you typically don't have to change them unless something catastrophic happens, and a lot of times when that does happen, your engine's kind of kaput too, anyway. But spark plugs on both these cars are always going to be a bitch. Also, the FA20 and its turbo are more efficient than the EJ. Now, what do I mean by this? The FA20 has a twin scroll turbo as opposed to a single scroll. Twin scroll turbos typically spool quicker, they run colder, they improve your fuel efficiency, they raise the low-end torque, and they improve the boost response. In layman's terms, it basically means more boost, more quicker. The STI is a better track car and has way better high-end power. We all know this, there's no disputing that. But for a daily driver to be able to get into your boost quicker, to be able to get into the torque quicker, to be able to pass people in city driving, the WRX is going to outperform the STI in those regards. Does that mean it's a better car? No. But does that mean that you can live with it a lot easier? Yes. The WRX also weighs a little less than the STI, which has been true for pretty much all the generations. Now, because the STI gets all the safety features and all the nice trim pieces, it does weigh a little more at about 120 more pounds or so. Now, that doesn't mean it's extremely noticeable or that most people will even notice it, but if you're a real numbers guy and you want to conserve on weight and that sort of thing, it is a cool little fact to bring up. Also, this has an electronic steering rack as opposed to the hydraulic steering on the STI. The hydraulic steering does feel more raw and does feel more race car and is a little bit harder to turn, which some people like, myself included. Some people also do prefer the electronic because it's easier to turn and it sometimes is better from a daily standpoint. If you're one of those people that doesn't want to have to always feel like you're driving a race car, this car might be better for you. Also, there's no giant wing to block the police officers tailing you for the 12 pounds of ketamine you have in the trunk. WRX or STI, both the cars are great, and if you can't afford the STI and you feel like, oh man, I can't get anything comparable, don't feel that way. This car is still absolutely fantastic. If you do have the money for an STI, I say go for it. Nobody ever says that, man, I should have gotten the WRX over the STI. So if you got the money, go for it. If you don't, Have some fun with this one till you do.